First of all, Minister, if you can just tell me what brings South Sudan to the first ever Africa Investment Forum?
Thank you very much for CNBC for this opportunity. My right pronunciation is Goc Makauc Mayol.
I'll get it right the next time.
I'm the Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning, Republic of South Sudan. I led a high-profile delegation from South Sudan to come and attend this very important African Investment Forum. Our purpose for coming here is to come and tell the members of the continent, of which South Sudan is a member too, that South Sudan currently has already achieved peace. We have celebrated the achievement of peace on the 31st of October last month. So I'm coming to inform our brothers and sisters in the continent that South Sudan is more peaceful than the other time before. The opportunities for investment in South Sudan, conditions for investment in South Sudan are more favorable than in other time before.
Deputy Minister, I want to talk to you about those opportunities, but rather let's just stay on the issue of peace. You did mention the peace deal that South Sudan has recently signed, but of course this comes after years and years of war in which many have lost their lives, but in which the South Sudan economy has also been grinded to a halt. Deputy Minister, the new peace deal, can investors be assured that it will be sustainable?
Absolutely. Let me assure the people of the continent that peace that we have signed recently and celebrated in Juba, all the fighting groups, all of them came to Juba and we celebrated the peace we achieved. As I'm talking to you, members of the fighting groups are now in Juba. So I'm assuring our people from the continent that peace is a reality in South Sudan. Conditions for investment are also conducive.
Certainly. So peace is a reality. In terms of the investment opportunities that South Sudan is going to be talking to the investors that are here about, what investment opportunities are there in your country, Deputy Minister?
There are a number of opportunities for investment in South Sudan. For instance, we need people to invest in energy. We need power in Juba and in South Sudan as a whole. We need people to invest in roads, connectivity. We need people to invest in water provision. We need people to invest in agriculture. We need people to invest in the mineral and so many other resources. So there are multi-resources which are not yet used in South Sudan. Unfortunately, as you have said, we ran into conflict soon after we got independent. But because of what we did, we have learned from those mistakes and we have corrected ourselves, and now there will be any problem any longer. So rest assured that whoever has interest to come to South Sudan, and I'm coming to market ourselves as South Sudanese to come and tell you in African continent that we in South Sudan have already succumbed to what we made as mistakes, and we corrected them, and we are ready now to rebuild what we destroyed in our hands.
All right, so you sound like you're saying that the worst is over, but Deputy Minister, you have listed your shopping list in terms of the sectors that you are looking for investments to come in. So an investor is asking, what's in it for me? What kind of returns can they expect, and what kind of incentives are you offering for them to bring their money to your country?
The first assurance that I have to give as a representative of the government is that security is number one. Whoever comes to invest in South Sudan, the protection is the responsibility of the government in the Republic of South Sudan. Two, we will provide land. You don't expect somebody to come and invest without giving land to. The land will be provided, and there is already a law that has provided free to whoever comes to invest in South Sudan. So these are assurances as government I'm making.
And this conference is also about a give and take, because countries are looking for deals, but they're also expected to make deals. Will South Sudan be making any investments on the continent?
Of course, we are a new nation, a promising economy. So the first thing we can do, let us invite you. You come to us. When you come and invest in South Sudan, for sure, there will be take back from us, what we can give back to the continent.
And can you paint a picture for the economic growth prospects for South Sudan, especially as we have seen quite a nice recovery in the oil price? To what extent will this be a boost for economic growth in your country?
Actually, currently, we depend so much on oil resource, and that is not enough. As a country, we can't depend on oil alone, because oil is a depletable resource. So we need to diversify our resources. By diversifying our resources, we have to go into other sectors. Like agriculture, we will invest so much in agriculture, and we have so many resources on the surface and under the surface. I believe those, if they are exploited, we will also take and market them to the continent.